activist Naomi Wadler. Last year, I gave a speech at the March for Our Lives rally in Washington, D.C.
I am here today to acknowledge and represent the African American girls whose stories don't make the front page of every national newspaper.
Since then, I've been on a mission to change the world one conversation at a time. Last year, I was honored to be one of the keynote speakers at the Teen Vogue Summit. It was packed with so many amazing women, and I wanted to talk with as many of them as I could. Why is it important to voice your opinion?
Not everyone is speaking up, and your voice can do so much in the world. The more people standing up, the more change we can make.
The youth are the future, and so we're gonna make sure that they understand that, they see that, and that it stays in their mind.
Because if they try to silence you with their words, you silence them with your amazing actions.
What do you hope the landscape for women will look like in 6 years when I am able to vote?
Next year I'll be 18, and then the year after that it's 2020 and I'll be able to vote. So hopefully I can open up a pathway so when you are able to vote, we don't have to still have the same struggles that we have today.
I'm hoping that you're gonna be the president, girl. That's what I'm hoping.
I hope that the idea of having more women in politics in general becomes just the norm.
Having more representation of all types of women. And there's so many occupations we could fill, and I feel like some people don't feel like we can fill those occupations, but we totally can. We're fighting the good fight.
Deserve to snap. Cheerios and I want to encourage kids to do good for others around them. So I wanted to shout out Andrew, who's doing exactly that. Andrew has 3 autistic siblings and helped to push a bill through legislature that trains police on how to interact with people with autism. Andrew is proof that you don't need to be 18 to make a political change. Over the past few weeks, I've been lucky enough to be able to speak with some of the most inspiring people. Here are the most powerful moments.
On those days where I feel rubbish about myself, I genuinely do have to write down a list of everything I am that is impressive and worthy of being in this world. I make sure that I continue to return to my list of what makes me an important person to the people that I love. Every time that you feel content with yourself and you feel powerful and you feel like you are good just as you are, that is an act of feminist resistance. And so I implore you to do that.
I gave a speech for March for Our Lives, but I wanted to talk about specifically how gun violence affected Black women, because that was kind of getting lost in the noise. People were very surprised because, I mean, this was a gun violence rally and here I am talking about Black women, but it's all connected.
I was affected personally by gun violence. My sister unfortunately passed from that, so that was a really difficult time for me and my family. In fact, that's what my charity does. It provides a resource. It's called the Yetundi Price Resource Center. We provide a resource for people that have been affected by gun violence. People are really talking about now because it's happening more widespread and it's been affecting our community for years.
Why do you think it's important to have these difficult conversations?
I think we need to get comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Situations are never really going to get better if you always avoid it. You have to take things head on. You have to look at it head on and you have to make noise.
I love that. What do you want kids who are questioning their genders to know?
That you are loved, and that although society may say that you are different and not normal, it is normal to question your identity, no matter if the gender that they were assigned at birth. If they love that, then that's fine. You're still on your journey, that's amazing. But if you don't love the gender you were assigned to at birth and you want to, explore who you truly are as a person, I also think that's great.
What kind of tools do you use to stay informed on what's going on in the world?
I try to use social media.
Do you feel that our generation is very informed on social issues?
I do. I think actually social media is a very big part in it. Now that more people are on social media, more people are really informed.
You cannot become what you can't see. When I was a kid, I was a little girl and I thought of what was available to me. And I loved movies. But the reason I decided I wanted to be an actress is because that's really all I saw in terms of what women did for movies. If I had seen more women directors, if I had understood that so many of my favorite movies were directed by women, like I didn't know for a long time that a woman had directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which was one of my favorite movies, or Wayne's World, or Clueless. These were movies that defined me, but I didn't realize they were directed by women. I just imagined male directors. So we've got to show young women every possibility.
I love that you're becoming that for other young girls. You couldn't see something and you became it, and now you are the woman that little girls are going to be seeing, and I think that is so cool.
I think it's really cool too.
Over the last year, I've learned that optimism is key. One of the most important things to remember is that even when we're talking about serious, depressing subject matters, things will get better if we work at making this world a better place. We all have the power to change the world. Everybody.